Okay, so picture this. It's May 16, 2167, and humanity is straight up doomed. The world is burning, buildings are crumbling, and giant, terrifying demons are tearing everything apart. This isn't a drill, guys, this is literally the end of days. The demonic army completely crushed humanity's very last stronghold. No hope, no backup, no second chances. The screen flashes with the coldest words imaginable: the human world, game over. Bro, the stakes couldn't hikey be any higher. Amidst the rubble, our main character is on his knees, gasping for breath, bleeding out, but his eyes are still glowing with pure fury. He was humanity's final hope, the SSS-Rank lightning assassin. A massive, horrifying demon king named Voraloon stands over him, mocking him, calling our whole species worthless garbage. The disrespect is unreal. Red lightning starts crackling through the air as the demon king steps forward. The atmosphere is heavy with pure dread, and you can feel the absolute terror of the moment. Voraloon tells him to shut up and just do the one thing he's actually good for, becoming a snack to power up the demon army. The demon prepares to absorb him, laughing like an absolute psychopath. It looks like it's completely over for our hero. Every single sacrifice he made, every battle he fought, it's all about to end right here in the dirt. But our boy refuses to go out like that. He screams out in pure agony and rage, remembering his sister, his squad, his master, everyone he ever cared about who was brutally murdered by these monsters. The emotional impact here hits like a truck. He looks straight at the demon and tells them they've messed with the wrong guy. With zero mana left and his body totally broken, he grits his teeth as golden electricity begins surging around his face. He's putting absolutely everything on the line for one final, desperate move. Bro is literally dragging this demon to hell with him. He unleashes his absolute ultimate trump card, SSS Ultimate Skill Apocalyptic Arc. The sky splits open with blinding white-hot lightning. This is maximum energy, 95% hype. The lightning explodes outward, trapping the demon king in place. Voraloon completely panics, screaming, "What the? I can't move!" Our hero is literally detonating his own life force to take the monster down with him. As the blinding light completely consumes him, his expression goes completely calm. He's at peace knowing he gave it his all, even if it meant sacrificing his own life. Suddenly, his life starts flashing before his eyes like shattering glass. We see a heartbreaking glimpse of him back in the real world, desperately trying to protect his injured sister in the pouring rain. Then we see a faded, happy family photo from simpler times before the apocalypse ruined everything. The contrast between this peaceful past and the burning present is honestly devastating. As his consciousness drifts into a black void, he sends out a final prayer to his parents, apologizing for not being strong enough. He laments that if only he had gotten stronger, if only he could have found that dungeon earlier, maybe he wouldn't have lost everything. But wait, a booming, sinister voice echoes through the darkness. "You filthy insect!" The remnants of the Demon King's energy are still lingering. A massive, terrifying fiery silhouette appears out of the light. Even after a literal suicide attack, the threat isn't completely gone. Our hero's thoughts keep spinning as everything fades to white. He wishes with everything he has that he could just rewind time, find that original dungeon earlier, and stop the very first Demon King from ever crossing over. His final thoughts fade away as he accepts his death. But little did he know, the universe was about to grant his wish in the most insane way possible. Hold up, gasp! He suddenly sits straight up, gasping for air. He looks down at his hands, completely stunned. "I'm alive, where am I?" He realizes he's sitting in a clean, pristine hospital nurse's office. No blood, no demons, no ruins. What is going on right now? He sprints to the window, flinging it open, and his jaw completely drops. The world isn't toast. There are normal buildings, blue skis, and tons of regular people walking around completely fine. He's utterly bewildered. It takes him a minute to wrap his head around the absolute absurdity of the situation, but then he looks at a phone screen. The date reads May 16, 2157. Dude, he somehow jumped straight back 10 years into the past, all the way to his old college days. This changes absolutely everything. He calculates the timeline. This is exactly 3 years before the first Demon King, Wrath, opens the gates of hell and kickstarts the apocalypse in 2160. A massive smile spreads across his face. If he can use his future knowledge to track down and eliminate Wrath before those gates ever open, he can stop the entire cascade and save everyone. But just as he's planning his next move, a bizarre blue system screen pops up right in front of his face. Gluttony power fusion complete. Suddenly, a full-blown video game stat matrix hovers in front of him. Strength, 100, speed, 100, stamina, 100, luck, 100, every single stat is completely maxed out. He's never seen anything like this before. Are his real-world attributes actually displaying as game mechanics? He looks at the list of legendary classes on the screen: Nuclear Mage, Stellar Archer, Lightning Assassin. In this world, only 1 in 10,000 people can awaken these powers, and he's currently attending National Awakener University. But here's the kicker. In his past life, he was a total loser who never awakened a single power during his entire 4 years here. He was everyone's punching bag. But look at the screen now. It clearly displays his old class, Lightning Assassin, along with his insanely overpowered skills like Flash God, which grants a 10x movement speed boost. He can literally feel the massive electrical current flowing through his veins. His future powers actually carried over into his past body. The system interface flips and inverts, calibrating to his soul. He's successfully pre-awakened before the timeline even scheduled it. Our boy is Loki about to become the ultimate cheat code. The gluttony power bar hits 100% and finishes loading. He's officially locked and loaded, ready to test out what he's got. Suddenly, the door flies open. Click, in walks a guy yelling, "Dude, you're up, you feeling all right?" Our hero turns around and instantly recognizes him. It's Marlon Ma, an E-rank cloud chanter and his old college roommate. Marlon is completely losing his mind because our hero's severe injuries from a beating yesterday are completely gone. Marlon is an actual awakened user, yet our hero just healed faster than him. Watching Marlon talk hits our MC with a wave of heavy emotion. In the last timeline, Marlon was brutally slaughtered on day 3 of the demon invasion. Seeing him alive and well makes the reality of this regression finally sink in. Marlon completely cuts the emotional vibe short, panicking because the university's big rank assessment is happening tomorrow. He tells him that even if he hasn't awakened yet, it still counts for graduation, so they need to bounce right now and start prepping. As they walk out onto the massive campus field, our hero looks around at all the peaceful students. He grips his fists tightly. He lost absolutely everything once before, and he swears to himself that if he just sits on his ass and does nothing, that nightmare future is going to happen all over again. He's got to make his move right now. You survived the most brutal game world out there, thinking you've seen the worst of humanity, only to realize that raw, cruel malice doesn't just lurk in the depths of dark dungeons. It's thriving right here in the human world too. We open up on a group of high school delinquents lounging on the concrete steps, radiating pure arrogance. And leading this pack of absolute clowns is this guy, Edmund Gong. Look at that smug expression. Bro Loki thinks he owns the place. He spots his next targets and calls out mockingly, noting how quickly they healed up. The kid he's targeting is Marlon, who is visibly shaking, covered in bandages and completely terrified. He's thinking it's just his absolute trash luck running into this monster again. But standing right next to Marlon is Ash. Ash isn't running. He's just staring them down, completely unfazed, while Edmund laughs and brags about how much of a pounding these two can take. Honestly, the disrespect is insane. Suddenly, a horrific memory flashes back. A brutal flashback of pure bullying where Ash is being forcefully held underwater, drowning and suffocating while trying to scream for help. It's a sick, twisted scene. Marlon is on the floor begging them to stop, but the bully just smiles. He literally claims he's helping Ash awaken his powers by giving him some motivation. Absolutely wild logic. The rest of the gang just stands there laughing like psychopaths while a kid is literally drowning in front of them. The flashback ends with Ash knocked out cold on the floor and the bullies just walking away because it got boring. Back in the present, Marlon is desperately grabbing Ash's arm, asking if he's okay. Ash is looking down, his face hidden in the shadows, feeling the heavy weight of why they always get targeted. But wait a second, Edmund sees them whispering and snaps, asking if Ash just spoke. The atmosphere completely shifts. The tension is high-key breaking the scale right now. Edmund looks up with this terrifying, glowing gaze, telling them it's time to pick up right where they left off. He leans in closer, demanding to know why they didn't bring him drinks while he was out playing basketball. pure power tripping. Marlon immediately panics, bowing his head and stuttering out an apology, saying he'll go grab some right now. He's completely submissive to the fear. But then, Ash steps forward. His eyes are glowing a piercing, lethal red. He looks straight at Marlon and says, "Wrong, you're not the one who screwed up. They are the ones who owe an apology, bro." No way he just said that out loud to the school's biggest terror. Everyone is completely stunned. Edmund's smile completely vanishes. He looks at Ash like he's looking at a dead man walking. Let's get some context on this dude. This is Edmund Gong, an E-rank flower warrior. The only reason he gets away with bullying everyone is because his older brother is the top dog student council president. Ash cracks his neck. He knows the truth. Without his brother, Edmund is actually pretty average. The students watching from the sidelines start whispering, laughing about how the school's two most useless chumps are about to get hospitalized again since one is the weakest awakener ever and Ash hasn't even awakened yet. Edmund steps up, crackling with green energy, mocking Ash for begging for round 2, but Ash just looks at him coldly and says, "Listen up, don't FK with us anymore." Edmund throws a massive, lightning-fast punch to shut him up, but smack, Ash blocks it effortlessly with his bare hand. What? The entire crowd goes completely silent. The crowd is freaking out, wondering if they're literally hallucinating. An unawakened loser just blocked an E-rank warrior's strike. Edmund is losing his mind with rage, but Ash is just staring at a holographic game system screen floating in front of him. A class switch is loading. Class switch complete. Ash's hidden status screen pops up, revealing his true power, the Lightning Assassin class. Look at those stats. His stamina and elemental mastery are maxed out at 5 stars. He unlocks Flash God, granting him a 10x movement speed boost and electric blade to shape lightning into a lethal weapon. His stats are multiplying right before our eyes. Edmund stammers in shock, realizing Ash just awakened, but it's too late to apologize now, dude. Edmund tries to activate his own skill, summoning his immortal demon armor, screaming that Ash forgot what getting his ass beat feels like. But before he can even finish his sentence, kaboom, Ash unleashes a devastating, lightning-infused punch straight to Edmund's face. The impact is absolutely insane. The shockwave shatters the air as Edmund gets sent flying. Bro was literally launched into orbit. The spectators are losing their minds, screaming in utter disbelief. One punch took out the school tyrant. Marlon is stirring with his jaw on the floor, wondering if that's really the same Ash he knows. Meanwhile, Edmund is coughing up blood, trembling on the ground, calling it a cheap shot and begging his gang to help him. The rest of the delinquents are frozen in pure terror. They aren't doing anything. Edmund forces himself up, screaming that he's going to kill Ash. But Ash moves like actual lightning. Before Edmund can even react, Ash grabs his arm and snap, he breaks it instantly. Ash stands over him, looking down with absolute disdain and utters 3 cold words, "Are trash." And to finish it off, POW, a brutal, decisive kick right to the jaw. Edmund drops to the concrete, completely unconscious and defeated, face first in a puddle of his own spit and blood. The crowd can only watch in stunned, breathless silence. Marlon looks at his friend in complete awe, realizing that the school's biggest loser just became its most dangerous monster. Talk about an absolute glow-up. You're at school minding your own business and suddenly you hear POW, POW. Some absolute menace is just relentlessly pummeling a guy straight into the pavement. But before things get too lethal, a girl steps in, tapping her shoe like she owns the place, telling him to chill because they're strictly on school property. She admits the guy on the ground totally had it coming, but suggests that's enough of a beatdown for one day. Enter Arya Ling, the student council VP. She flashes this confident, high-key, intimidating smile and tells the bystanders not to worry because the guy on the ground will never touch them again. Meanwhile, our main boy Ash is just standing over his victim like an absolute boss. He's internally scoffing, wondering why the student council is already jumping in to play savior. Honestly, Ash wasn't even planning to send the dude to the Shadow Realm. But he knows how these bullies operate. If you don't put the absolute fear of God into these scumbags, they'll just keep coming back for more. Bro is setting boundaries with his fists and I respect it. Cut to 2 absolute cowards hiding behind a pillar, practically shaking in their boots. One of them is losing his mind over the literal psycho look in Ash's eyes, vowing to never go near him again. And here is where the lore drops. As they sprint away, they realize that Ash was literally known as one of the weakest, brokest losers in their entire school. Arya Ling overhears this little detail, and let me tell you, her curiosity is officially piqued. The weakest loser just handed out a premium beatdown? Yeah, things are not adding up. Meanwhile, back at the men's dorm, things are getting completely unhinged. A student named Marlon bursts into his room screaming at his roommates to wake up and smell the coffee. He's freaking out, yelling that Ash has actually awakened as an insanely strong lightning assassin and that he completely destroyed a guy named Edmund. Enter Weston Xiang, an E-rank nuclear mage who looks like he hasn't slept since 2015. He's totally not buying it. He asks where this so-called lightning assassin is and Marlon stutters out that Ash went jogging. Weston literally smacks Marlon in the head. I mean, dude has a point. If Ash just unlocked god-tier powers, why on earth is he doing basic cardio? Then we meet the roommate at the computer, Riley Xiang, an E-rank flower chanter. He tells them to get a grip, reminding everyone that their group is literally stuck together because they are the bottom 4 ranks in the entire grade. It's a sad reality, bro. But Weston is high-key coping. He flexes a little burst of red magic in his hand, bragging that because they can only awaken one class in their lives, he's the top dog of the dorm since he's the only combat class. He calls the others just chanting supports and swears there's no way a half-dead loser like Ash awakened as a lightning assassin. Weston's convinced he's the one getting stronger for tomorrow's final rank assessment. Oh buddy, you have no idea what's coming. We cut away from the losers to the E-rank training dungeon. The atmosphere shifts completely. Electricity crackles in the air around Cole Gong, the student council president. This guy is walking out covered in monster blood, looking like an absolute raid boss. With his lackeys bowing to him in the background, he casually announces it's time to wrap up their daily grind. The gap in power between him and the dorm crew is literally astronomical. But wait, remember Edmund? The guy's crew is waiting for Cole. Someone is begging Cole to do something about Ash, claiming Ash humiliated Cole's little brother in front of everyone, which is basically spitting in the president's face. Cole is ice cold. He just says, I heard, I'll deal with it. But his underling isn't done hyping Cole up. He talks about how Cole knows the exact strength of everyone in the school and how he's already recruited all the rare D-rankers into his club. Because of Cole's monopoly, nobody else even has a chance to enter the dungeons to level up, leaving all the mediocre scrubs in the dust. So basically, Cole controls the entire school's progression system. Meanwhile, where is our protagonist? Jogging, in the pouring rain, with a casual 100 kilos strapped to his back, running a 20-kilometer marathon. Why? Because in this world, your physical body directly caps your awaken potential. If you want to push your magical class abilities to the absolute limit, you need the physical vessel of an absolute beast. But as Ash runs, we realize why he's pushing himself to the brink. This isn't just about school bullies, it's a revenge story, bro. Ash remembers the horrific future of the year 2160 when the Demon King, Wrath, dropped into the world and instantly massacred thousands. And the most painful part? The Demon King killed his only family, his little sister. Wrath opened the literal gates of hell, letting all the other Demon Kings pour through. This completely changes everything. Ash isn't just an awakened student, he's a regressor who traveled back in time. His ultimate target for Stage 1? Kill Demon King Wrath. He only has exactly 3 years until Wrath shows up. The clock is ticking and Ash has to grow faster and stronger than a literal apocalyptic threat. Suddenly, his phone buzzes. It's a call from Heiress C. He answers and it's his sister. She's alive. She casually complains about him spam calling her, mentioning she just got back from a competition that might finally help them pay rent. Bro, the emotion on Ash's face here is devastating. Standing in the freezing rain, he remembers begging the universe in that obliterated future to just let him hit the reset button. Hearing her voice again, it breaks him. He silently vows that even if he has to crawl through hell itself, he will sacrifice everything to protect her. Eris, completely clueless about the time travel trauma, just tells him to wait for good news and hangs up. Ash wipes his face, realizes he's truly been sent 8 hours back into this timeline, and screams that he has 3 more laps to run. The motivation is through the roof. Later, Ash is hitting the showers, analyzing his situation. He's getting used to this younger, weaker body. But he hits a massive roadblock. To level up, he needs to hunt in dungeons. But remember what we learned earlier? The guilds and rich elites have the dungeons on total lockdown. If you aren't connected, you can't fight monsters. But just as he's wondering how to break the system answers back. A holographic screen pops up in his vision, Gluttony System Online. Suddenly, a blinding light flashes. Ash wakes up in total darkness, completely confused. Where am I? Wasn't I asleep? No shot, guys. Did his gluttony system just teleport him straight into a secret dungeon? Hit that subscribe button right now because the real game is just about to begin. You're just taking a nap, minding your own business, and suddenly, bam, you wake up free-falling into a literal nightmare. Our boy Ash hits the ground hard, totally confused and wondering if he's still dreaming. He looks up and right in front of him is this massive, terrifying, blood-red tower that looks straight out of a horror game. The atmosphere is incredibly heavy, and little does he know, his entire reality just got flipped upside down. Before Ash can even process where he is, a pack of demonic dogs called Doomhells launch an ambush. These are E-rank Cloud Warrior monsters and they look absolutely vicious. But hold up, right as things look bad, a system window pops up right in front of his face. It switches his class and he suddenly awakens as a level 1 lightning assassin. His stats are completely maxed out for a beginner, and he gets 2 insanely overpowered skills. First is Flash God, which gives him an instant 10x movement speed boost by surging electricity through his body. Second is Electric Blade, which turns his lightning into a weapon. If he hits a vital spot, it's a guaranteed critical hit that completely paralyzes the target. Ash realizes he needs to handle this mess right now. And then Ash just charges straight at the monsters. No hesitation, no backup. He coats his hands in pure yellow lightning and starts slicing through these E-rank scrubs like they are absolutely nothing. He moves so fast that the monsters can't even react before they are slashed in half. He instantly starts racking up loot, grabbing materials called Doomfangs. Every kill feeds him EXP. The system starts ringing like a slot machine. Plus 52 EXP, plus 52 EXP, and boom, he levels up to level 2. Every single one of his stats jumps up by 5 points instantly. The danger starts to fade into pure hype as Ash realizes a mind-blowing truth. He isn't just trapped in a random dangerous world. He has basically scored his very own solo dungeon. He can farm EXP and get stronger with zero competition. But a dungeon isn't a dungeon without a boss, right? Out of the shadows steps King Doomhowl, a massive, spiked beast radiating E-rank boss energy. Most people would panic, but what does Ash do? He literally smirks. Bro sees this giant monster and just thinks, time to grind some serious training. He unleashes his electric blade and decapitates the boss in one clean, brutal strike. The system goes wild, rewarding him with a massive 320 EXP and shooting him straight to level 3. He loots 18 more Doomfangs and is feeling pretty good about his stats. But honestly, this is where things get crazy. A glowing red system prompt hovers over the boss's dead body with 3 words, can be devour. Ash is totally confused but reaches his hand out anyway. A massive flash of red light absorbs the boss's corpse, and the system announces the devour is complete. The monster is literally converted into a class card. Ash just obtained the Cloud Warrior class from the boss, giving him complete immunity to the cold. This changes everything. In this world, the absolute unchangeable rule is that every Awakener only gets 1 class for their entire life. But Ash realizes what just happened. He didn't just get a cool system, he stole the gluttony power that belonged to the demon king Voraloon. He now holds 2 classes at the same time. If he can keep devouring monsters, he can stack unlimited classes and become completely unstoppable. But just as Ash is realizing how overpowered he is, the atmosphere completely shatters. An overwhelming, suffocating pressure forces him to his knees. A shadowy figure steps out of the darkness. It's an S-rank boss, an overlord, and the scariest part, the boss looks right at him and says, "So you finally arrived." Ash it knows his name. The stakes just skyrocketed from 0 to a million. In his past life, Ash almost died just trying to reach S-rank. Right now, he admits he's D-rank at best. The level difference is literally a joke, his stats are completely outmatched. They exchange dozens of blows, but Ash is just getting knocked down over and over. But wait a second, Ash notices something weird. The Overlord is insanely fast, but he keeps deliberately missing Ash's vitals. He's just toying with him. The boss stops and gives Ash an ultimatum. He tells Ash to stay and guard the Dreadspire with him, revealing that Ash is the only person who can actually reach this place. The Overlord threatens to crush him into paste if he refuses, but Ash is absolutely not staying in this hellhole. Bloodied and beaten, Ash glares right back at the S-rank god and screams, "I'll kill you." The boss calls him pathetic and rushes in for the kill. But this is exactly what Ash wanted. He wasn't just getting beaten up, he was downloading the boss's entire moveset. Ash realized that every single strike the boss makes has a 0.4 second wind-up and a 0.2 second lag. Using that tiny window, Ash reads the angle of the boss's wrist, perfectly predicts the attack path and dodges. With the boss's guard completely down, Ash activates his electric blade. He knows a D-rank can't kill an S-rank, but if he hits the heart, the paralysis effect will lock the boss down for just a few seconds. Ash strikes the boss's chest, triggers his Flash God speed boost, and bets his entire life on this one crazy, high-speed escape. Hold up, Ash's eyes literally go wide with pure shock. He's staring down this massive, dark, intimidating aura, and it hits him. That form, he's seen it before. It belongs to none other than the legendary Demon King, Voralun. And guys, this is where things get crazy. Flashback to his past life. During their absolute final, world-shaking showdown, Demon King Voralun didn't just have one trick up his sleeve. Mid-battle, bro was literally cycling through multiple insanely powerful classes. We're talking a massive ice dragon that freezes everything, a terrifying plant beast sprouting glowing thorns, some kind of divine angelic class that drops literal nukes of light, and this dark, lightning-infused brawler form crashing down from the sky. It was absolute chaos. But Ash remembers one form crystal clear, the purple demonic avatar of pure destruction. This exact form, and that's when the horrifying realization drops. Voralun had this absolutely broken gluttony power to devour his enemies, which means, wait a second, if Ash is seeing this aura right now, that gluttony power is currently chilling inside him. Bro is literally inside his own mind right now. Suddenly this deep, ancient voice echoes out. It tells Ash that he's smart, he can handle insane pressure, and he has more than earned what comes next. And by what comes next, I mean the system straight up drops an SSS-Rank item in front of him. The Chronorif key. This thing is the one and only key to the Dreadspire, a massive, terrifying tower looming in the background. Turns out Voralun devoured countless vicious demons, and all the strongest ones are locked right inside that spire. The glowing red staff floats right into Ash's hands. The voice gives him one simple instruction: open the gates, devour every single demon inside, and turn their strength into his own power. But Ash is no fool, he's low-key suspicious. Why would this demonic entity help him? The voice reveals a tragic backstory. The Demon Kings wiped out his entire race out of pure greed. He's been waiting for revenge, and Ash is his golden ticket. The voice mentions that he was right about Ash being their only hope. Who is he? The entity isn't giving up any spoilers, telling Ash the answers are waiting for him inside the Dreadspire. In an epic burst of purple energy, the being passes on its power, screaming at Ash to get stronger, beat them all, and make the Demon Kings pay. The system goes absolutely wild. Notifications start popping off. Devour complete. Ash hits level 10 instantly. He secures the Rakshasa bone and unlocks some seriously overpowered skills like Ossuary Collapse to drain power from corpses and Triple Cataclysm to control gravity. Ash grips his fist. No hesitation. He accepts the legacy and swears he's going to make his enemies pay in blood. And then bam, Ash jolts awake. Slice of life mode engaged, people. His roommate is screaming at everyone to get out of bed for school. Ash looks around his totally normal dorm room. All his crazy battle wounds completely gone. For a second he honestly thinks it was all just an insane fever dream. But nope, the system interface is still floating right in front of his face. It was 100% real. His stats are massively boosted, and he's sitting pretty at level 10 with all his new loot. He's about to head to the university's rank assessment assembly. Meanwhile, some random arrogant student starts flexing about being an E-rank mid-tier like it's the greatest thing ever, explaining how the power gap between basic, mid, and high tiers is huge. Little does he know, our boy Ash is probably about to break the whole scale and hit D-rank. As Ash walks out to the track field, the atmosphere completely shifts. A bunch of tough-looking guys who are apparently goons for a bully named Edmund are literally bowing to Ash in terror. Everyone is whispering, "Did Ash seriously beat them up yesterday?" The rumors are spreading like wildfire, and everyone is shocked to see them kissing up to him. But honestly, there's always a final boss for the day. Enter Holloway Kiang, a student council officer and a legit D-rank powerhouse. He's the younger brother of the school's president, so yeah, hikey arrogant. Holloway steps up to Ash, sniffs the air, and claims his senses can smell real power. He looks Ash dead in the eye and tells him he just has the stench of someone destined to rot at the bottom forever. Oh bro, you have no idea who you're messing with. We start right off with some absolute disrespect. This flashy dude Holloway gets right up in our main guy's personal space. Holloway thinks he's hot stuff, bragging about how his crazy sensitive nose can smell real power. But when he looks at our boy Ash, he literally tells him he smells like a total loser destined to rot at the bottom forever. He even looks down on him and asks if he's a dog. Like, bro, who do you think you are? Ash doesn't even flinch. He quietly mutters something back, and Holloway just absolutely loses his mind. He starts screaming, ready to throw hands right then and there. The tension is crazy high, and it looks like things are about to get incredibly violent. But hold up, before Holloway can do anything stupid, the student council president steps in. This guy radiates pure authority. He tells Holloway to back off, revealing that he already investigated whatever incident started this mess and their guy Edmund was the one at fault. He completely shuts Holloway down with one brutal rule: Screw up, face the music. Holloway instantly backs down like an obedient little puppy and follows the president away. But you have to look closely at Ash's face right here. Those glowing red eyes, that cold, dead stare. Yeah, this guy isn't just some random pushover. There is some serious, heavy danger lurking right under the surface, and Heike, I don't think anyone at this academy is ready for what he's hiding. Suddenly, an announcement booms over the speakers. It is time for the rank assessment. A massive, glowing blue portal boots up in the middle of the assembly, and the proctors tell everyone to step up when their ID gets called. This is it, guys. This is the moment where every student's future gets decided. Of course, Holloway is still in the background running his mouth, calling Ash a total pushover. But he doesn't realize who is watching from the shadows. Up in the VIP room, this mysterious blonde woman with striking purple eyes is casually sipping her tea. She's clearly someone important, and she's low-key hopping. This assessment is going to be fun to watch. First up on the chopping block is Weston Xiang. This dude is hyped. He steps through the portal, sweating but grinning, ready to show the world what he's really capable of. Let's see what you got, bro. Now, for those who don't know how this game works, rank assessments happen one-on-one inside these custom-built dungeons. In the center of the room, there's this massive mechanical core called a demon heart. It literally sucks up energy. To get a rank, awakeners have to unleash every single ounce of their power right into it. Weston charges up his magic and blasts it with everything he has, but honestly, reality hits hard. The screen spits out his result, potential C 2 whole years of training, and he hasn't made a single bit of progress. That is just brutal. But then, the atmosphere completely shifts. The proctors call up the next student, Cole Gong, the golden boy, the guy with a million titles. The crowd instantly starts whispering because this dude is a legend. They say he already hit D rank 2 entire years ago on his very first try. Cole steps up to the demon heart, but get this, he's literally planning to hold back. He wants to save his full power for the graduation combat exam to make a bigger splash later. What is this guy doing? He's taking the most important test of the year and deciding to dial his power back a few notches. He confidently launches his attack, thinking that even while holding back, he'll easily smash the school record. The blast connects, and the system calculates his score. Boom, rank A, literal A rank. The VIP blonde woman, who turns out to be a guild president, is absolutely speechless. She realizes instantly that this is front-page news material. But dude, if this is him holding back, what on earth is going to happen when he actually goes all out? You're in a world where your entire future, your career, and your social standing are decided by a single test. If you're E rank, you're basically trash tier, and everyone loves to remind you of it. These guys, they're the top dogs, and they're already laughing at our guy, Ash, because they think he's going to bomb the graduation exam. But Ash, he's not even sweating. While the elitists are busy talking trash about how embarrassing it's going to be for him, they have no idea what's actually waiting for them inside that testing chamber. They think they're watching a failure, they're actually watching a monster about to wake up. The machine powers up, everything looks normal, right? Just another standard test. But then wait, hold up, did that just say D rank, high tier, what? The crowd goes silent, this isn't supposed to happen. Ash is just getting started. He's like, yeah, that was just my base form, I haven't even switched classes yet. And suddenly, the rank jumps again. C rank? Are you kidding me? The machine is glitching out because it literally cannot process how strong this guy actually is. This is where things get absolutely wild. Ash decides to push it to the limit and test his real power. He triggers his unique abilities and the entire room starts to shake. The Demon Heart machine designed to measure power is screaming in error. It's not just an error, it's an overload. The system says the potential is immeasurable. It exceeds the maximum capacity of the entire machine. This isn't a test anymore, this is a historical event. The proctors are panicking, trying to stop the machine before it blows, but it's too late. Boom, the machine dies. Ash, he didn't just survive, he basically just ate the system's power. He walks away with a brand new A-rank Lux Demon Heart ability that lets him see everyone's power level in real time. Talk about a massive upgrade. He turns his gaze to the crowd, he can see right through their fake confidence. That guy Cole, who was acting all high and mighty, mid-C rank, nothing special. Ash is literally looking at the whole world differently now. The instructors are scrambling to save face, saying it was a technical error, but everyone knows the truth. The bullies are still in denial, screaming that it's all a fluke, but the vibe in the room has shifted. Ash just shattered the status quo in 5 minutes. And just when it feels like the whole academy is going to explode with drama, the president, the one person who actually matters, steps in. He shuts down the loudmouth subordinate, walks right up to Ash and drops the bombshell. "Join my squad." The biggest plot twist? Ash just got recruited by the leader of the top team. The graduation exam is about to get very, very interesting. Bro, you will not believe what just went down. This is absolutely insane. Cole, the literal student council president, just personally invited Ash to join his squad. Everyone in the school is losing their minds because getting on Cole's team is a guaranteed golden ticket to first place in the graduation exam. People have been trying to bribe their way into his squad for ages, but Cole, he just shuts them down. So the question on everyone's lips is, what makes Ash so special? Meanwhile, one of Cole's lackeys is spiraling. He's looking at Ash like he's a total eyesore, sweating bullets, thinking, how the hell am I supposed to explain this to the rest of the crew? He's totally panicking, trying to process why his leader would choose this guy over anyone else. The tension is real and you can see him struggling to keep his cool. But hold up, did you see that? Cole isn't just asking, he's demanding Ash's presence. He's reaching out to him, practically forcing the issue, but look at Ash's expression. He isn't looking at this like a golden opportunity, he looks annoyed, like deeply annoyed. The guy is literally shaking, trying to force down his anger so he doesn't explode in front of everyone. He puts on this fake, forced smile and says, "Heh, well then, welcome aboard." But the vibes, absolutely rancid. He's clearly plotting something nasty. Snap. That fake alliance? Yeah, it lasted exactly 2 seconds. Ash doesn't even hesitate, he just shuts it down, not interested. The sheer audacity, the dude just casually rejected the most powerful person in the school, and you can practically hear the collective gasp from everyone watching. The look on their faces is priceless. They are completely stunned. You can see the pure, unadulterated shock in their eyes. They've never seen anyone talk to Cole like that. Cole's lackey is absolutely losing it. He's screaming, you little sh*T, do you have any idea what you just said? Our squad's the strongest in the entire school. And Ash, he's just standing there stone cold, responding, not my problem, you're annoying. Bro is literally built different. Then, with that chilling look in his eyes, those red glints of pure intensity, he drops the final blow, leave me alone. The aura he's giving off, terrifying. You can tell this guy isn't just some student. He's got a weight to him that these elites can't even comprehend. They are out, the squad is completely flustered, looking like they've just witnessed a murder. You can see the disbelief on their faces. Ash actually turned down Cole, is he insane? Exactly, it's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, but you can't look away. They're convinced Ash is out of his mind, but at the same time, they're starting to wonder if he's actually gunning for that first place spot himself. I mean, his test showed C-rank mid-tier, one of them whispers. It doesn't add up. Why would a C-rank act like he's above the student council president? The mystery just went from 0 to 100 in seconds. Things just got way more interesting. The peanut gallery is loving every second of it. You catch the look on their faces? Absolutely priceless. They're mocking the elites who were strutting around like peacocks just a minute ago. They know Ash has got some serious guts. Even Cole isn't fazed. He's just standing there calm, collected, with this dangerous, calculating look in his eyes. No worries, he says. Looks like Ash's got his own game plan. This isn't over, not even close. And just like that, they walk away. It's a real shame they couldn't work together, but honestly, it feels like the calm before a massive storm. In the shadows, the adults are watching too. I was really hoping we'd see some new school records this year, one of them says, but he's not disappointed. He's intrigued. But honestly, she replies with a smile, this is way more fun. They see the game for what it is, and they are clearly betting on the chaos that Ash is about to bring to the table. Cole's had everything handed to him since birth, she continues. You can tell she's been waiting for someone to challenge the status quo, and Ash might just be the wildcard they were looking for. Getting rejected like that, that's a straight lid. The tension is palpable. The power dynamics in this school are about to be completely flipped upside down. Declaration of war, and the president, he doesn't take slights lightly. Ash has officially put a target on his back, and he probably doesn't even care. Just a testing glitch that made him look good. He actually thinks he's C-rank. The lackey is still seething, desperate to justify his own ego. He's convinced Ash is a fraud, and that makes him even more dangerous. But deep down, there's that flicker of doubt. But what if it wasn't a glitch? Even the people who hate him are starting to realize that Ash might be a legitimate threat. And for someone like that, a 1 in a billion chance is all the excuse they need to try and destroy him. The threat is real. They think they're the battle-tested elites, the ones who have actually cleared dungeons. They see Ash as just a kid with zero combat experience. They have no idea who they're dealing with. How about I go give him a little attitude adjustment? The malice is dripping off these guys. They're planning to ambush him to teach him his place. But Cole is smarter than that. He's not going to get his hands dirty over a petty insult. You really think I'm that small-minded? He asks, his voice cold. He's setting a trap, distancing himself while letting his dogs do the dirty work. You and the squad do whatever, I know nothing about it. The trap is set, they're acting like they're clear, but everyone knows exactly what's about to happen. Loud and clear, they laugh, already salivating at the thought of the beatdown they're about to deliver. Minutes later, the word comes back, oh, Ash already left campus. They're surprised, but it's actually perfect for them. No witnesses. Yeah, saying he had to run home. They're already cheering. They think they've got him trapped. They're giddy with the anticipation of the hunt. Perfect. Crack, the knuckles are ready. They're going off campus thinking they're about to end Ash's life, but they have no clue that Ash is the one who's actually hunting them. See, here's the kicker. In his past life, a first-ranking guild messed up during a dungeon clear in Sandhaven. They hit an absolute nightmare of a monster, Wrath. It wiped the entire squad, walked out of the dungeon, and brought the apocalypse to our world. Ash knows this. He lived through the hell that followed, and this time around, he's not going to sit back and watch. He's going to stop it. To find exactly where that dungeon is, he needs one thing, a massive pile of cash. He heads to the Mithril Monster Exchange. This place, it's legendary. It's owned by the Mithril Guild and eventually becomes the biggest gear marketplace in the country. If you want to survive, you need the best gear, and this is where you get it. It's also, conveniently, the fastest way to get rich quick. He drops some loot on the counter. The clerk is staring at him, completely dumbfounded. Where did a student like you even get something like this? It's monster loot, rare, E-rank cloud beast parts. I've never seen one before, the clerk stammers, realizing he's out of his league. The clerk's brain is working overtime. If memory serves, this should be from the E-rank cloud beast Doomfang. He starts spouting off specs about how it can be forged into gear or ground into powder. Ash is having none of it. Yeah, save the Wikipedia entry. What's an E-rank item going to do anyway? He wants to move, and he wants to move fast. The senior worker is just as dismissive. HMPH, we run a strict VIP house here. Only high-rank awakeners with real pull get through that door. I only deal in premium D rank and up. He's annoyed, thinking he's wasting his time with a broke nobody. The guy is clearly miserable, stuck in a dead-end job just waiting for a promotion that's never coming. Just my luck, always getting stuck with these broke nobodies. He's bitter, angry, and looking for someone to dump his frustration on. Screw it, dump this on the newbie. You finish processing this guy's stuff. He thinks he's being clever, but he has no idea what he's just missed. The newbie clerk tries to be professional. Here's your payment, please count it. Anything else I can help with? He hands over 18 grand. For a student, that's huge, covers rent, maybe some upgrades. But Ash isn't done. All right then, he says with a smirk, check this one out. The clerk pulls it out and the room goes silent. Whoa, what a beautiful greatsword. He's gasping, his hands shaking. Never laid eyes on one, but this has to be at least B rank. Wait, could even be a rank. The senior worker scoffs from across the room. A rank? Dream on. A rank weapons run close to 1 million. I've been working here for years and never even touched one. He's so sure of himself, so arrogant. Ash just watches him, completely calm. You're absolutely right, he says quietly. This definitely isn't some boring A-rank piece. The senior worker's eyes bulge out of his skull. Boss's eye is razor sharp, he shouts to the newbie. He's so desperate to be right, so desperate to put Ash in his place. Told you, what's a broke student going to have that's actually worth anything? He's still gloating, completely oblivious to what's about to happen. This one's straight from the purgatory zone, Ash says. An S-rank gear. Silence, the world just stopped. What S-rank? The guild leader steps in, his eyes widening. "Welcome, esteemed guest," he's rushing over, bowing, scraping, completely changing his tune. "Right this way to the VIP suite, whatever you need, I'm here to help." And there he is, Theo Ching, the leader of the Mithril Guild. He's looking at Ash, and for the first time, he's not seeing a student, he's seeing a legend in the making. "About time you showed up," he says with a dangerous, expectant grin. "Ash." Everything starts with a simple transaction, or so it seems. But in this world, even the smallest exchange can be a massive power play. We're sitting in the office of Theo Ching, the legendary figure who will eventually build the Mithril Exchange into the world's top marketplace. Across from him is our protagonist, looking completely unfazed while offering a weapon that would make anyone else's jaw drop. 1 million, our guy says, completely calm. The reaction? Pure shock. A rank gear already costs 1 million on the market, so for an S-rank weapon, that price tag is basically a joke. Theo is quick, like terrifyingly quick. He realizes this kid isn't selling, he's taking a loan. Using an S-rank weapon as collateral for a month-long loan, it's a move so bold, so weird that it screams, "I have no other choice." Theo starts connecting the dots. He figures out our guy is a final-year student at the National Awakening University, and guess what? The graduation combat exam is in exactly 1 month. The prize money, 1 million. Theo realizes our guy is desperate, but he's smart. He doesn't try to exploit him. Instead, he plays the long game. He offers 1.5 million in cash immediately with zero interest. It's a genius move to lock in a long-term business relationship with someone who clearly has more secrets than they're letting on. The Mana Pact is signed, the money is in the account, but Theo has one last question. What are you going to use in the graduation exam? He even offers to lend some high-tier gear. Our guy's answer, "I'm good, got another one just like it." Theo's face says it all, he is absolutely floored. This kid isn't just lucky, he's a complete mystery. But the real story isn't the money, it's the memory. Our protagonist flashes back to his last life, a life of poverty where he and his sister Iris scraped by on nothing. He remembers the heartbreak, Iris, talented and full of potential, throwing away her dream school just so she wouldn't be a burden to him. It's a gut-wrenching memory that still haunts him. He looks at her now, alive and well, and the realization hits him hard. 7 years, he finally gets to see her again. He doesn't care about the money or the status anymore. He makes a silent vow, "I'm never letting you suffer again, not even a little." But tragedy has a way of following him. Little does he know there's a group of thugs waiting in the shadows, ready to ambush him the second he turns the corner. He's back in the game, but the danger is just getting started. Bro, just look at this scene. You've got a group of thugs literally bringing half the student council just to jump one guy. This is the definition of a pathetic power move. They're terrified, honestly, talking about going too hard and accidentally killing him. But then you have their boss. This guy, he's not playing around. He's low-key obsessed with the fact that our MC had the guts to disrespect him. "You're annoying." Our guy is ice cold, he doesn't care about their threats, he just wants to be left alone. But the thugs, they're not having it. They're dead set on ruining him before the big graduation exam in 4 weeks. And look at this guy, Holloway Kiang. He's bragging about being a top-tier cloud assassin at this school. He's a D-rank and he looks like he's ready to kill. Zap, he's charging up his weapon, totally full of himself. He has no idea what's coming. Now look at the contrast, we switch to Iris. She's worried, trying to check on our guy, asking if the stress of the graduation exam is getting to him. She's being so genuine, trying to act all casual, drinking her little shake. She's basically saying, "Hey, a tough guy like you shouldn't be stressing over some girl." She's totally oblivious. She thinks they're still the same people, just barely scraping by. She's practically pleading with him to pull himself together. And then she drops this wisdom, "Life's a marathon, your shot will come." She's literally trying to motivate him with cheesy quotes. She even starts singing "Believe in Yourself." Man, Iris is sharp, but she has no clue he's already changed. He knows she's sharp. She sensed something was different the moment they met, but she still doesn't know he's awakened. He just brushes her off. "Seriously, I'm totally fine." He's gotta keep her out of the line of fire. Iris is still teasing him, talking about male pride and emotional walls. If only she knew the real wall he's building is to protect her. The thugs are stalking them, they see the girl and think, easy target. They have no idea they're walking into a slaughter. Boss, why's that P***NK got some girl with him? They think it's their lucky day, they're so wrong. He feels them, that presence, it's the student council thugs, they actually tracked him down. He realizes it instantly, they actually hunted me down here, the tension just went through the roof. He hands her his earphone, the vibe is shifting, he's not playing games anymore. You should listen, he's setting the mood, this is the calm before the storm. She's confused, asking when he started liking music, she's just trying to understand his heart. And then he snaps, his eyes change, this is the moment the predator becomes the prey. The thugs are ranked, D rank, E rank, they look big but in the face of what's coming, they're just experience points. The walk of death, they're closing in thinking they're in control. Iris is lost in the music, completely unaware that a fight for their lives is about to start. The lyrics are hitting deep, calendar weathering the last digits counting down humanity's final days, it's poetic man, it's heavy. He's thinking about his past life, 2160 losing his family, being reborn in 2167. He finally has a family moment with his sister after 7 years, and these thugs, they're trying to ruin it. You do not mess with this guy's sister, you just don't. The music is swelling, the lyrics are screaming about sacrifice. He's ready to burn it all down to protect this one fragile little star. Bam, first contact, the thug is literally reeling thinking what the FK is wrong with this kid. He's dominating, he's a premier cloud assassin and he's getting bodied by a guy he thought was E-rank trash. He's absolutely losing it, how the hell is he this strong? The guy tries to rally, tries to show off his rank but it doesn't matter, it's over. Smack, he's getting flattened. I already told you leave me alone, he is done playing nice. Zap, he's finished them just like that, do I need to spell it out for you, don't mess with him. Look at those eyes bro, that is pure, unadulterated danger, the kind of look that tells you someone is about to cross a line they can't uncross. And yeah, things are getting ugly fast, we're in the middle of a brutal confrontation. This guy is literally holding a knife and the tension, it's through the roof. But hold up, this isn't just some random brawl. The guy on the receiving end is completely broken, his ribs are shattered, he can't feel his legs. He realizes way too late that he completely misjudged his target. He's begging, absolute panic in his eyes, sobbing out an apology. He knows he messed up, but... Shut it, that's the only response he gets. One peep and he's done for. This is where it gets crazy, he's just a student, right? So where is this insane, bone-chilling, murderous intent coming from? It's like he's staring into the abyss and the abyss is staring back. The bully is terrified because he knows this isn't an act. Our guy is crystal clear, he's putting it all on the table, stay away from his sister. If he even sees them in her line of sight, he's going to end them. No mercy. He's not joking, that knife against the face isn't just for show. This is a warning written in blood and he's ready to follow through. Clear, he doesn't even need to ask twice. The message is received loud and clear. The threat is over but the atmosphere is heavy, the bully is left in the dirt completely wrecked. Then we shift to a completely different vibe, a song about birds migrating, the sky, shadows at dawn. The contrast is wild, it's like a total shift from pure chaos to crushing loneliness. We see a girl, clearly emotional, tears streaming down her face, and we get this call out, you're not that lonely. I've been here the whole time, talk about a gut punch. It's a moment of raw, genuine connection after all that violence. And just like that, the tension breaks, he's got a gift for her. It's not just any gift, it's a Mana Hollow Pen, the brand new model from the drag group. Wait, 10 grand? Dude, where did he even get that kind of money? She's shocked, rightfully so. She's worried about their situation, about the debt. She's ready to return it, trying to be the sensible one, but look at his face. He's not doing this for clout. Last life I failed to protect you. Hold up, did you catch that? Last life. This isn't just a guy being nice. This is a guy trying to fix a past that was filled with regret. He couldn't protect her dreams before. But this time he's going to do it right. He's going to protect everything she holds dear. Back in reality, the aftermath is still setting in. The bullies are crying for an ambulance completely broken. And look at this, he's actually drawing holograms in midair. The tech is real and she's loving it, a rare moment of happiness amidst all the grind. But the stress isn't gone, they still owe rent. The sister is skeptical, calling him a terrible liar when he says he made the cash with a buddy. She sees right through him, but she also sees him smile. And that smile, it's been ages since she's seen that. She knows something up, but she just wants him to be okay. No bottling things up, right? Meanwhile, elsewhere, the situation is grim. Holloway is in bad shape, 60% compound fractures. Even top-tier healers are looking at a month to patch him up. The bullies are toast and the school politics are heating up. Logan Gong is lurking, checking the ranks. He's realizing that our guy, Ash, is C rank. The only student ranked higher than him, and Logan's got connections. He's got the Alliance vice chairman coming to the graduation showcase. Logan is desperate, he can't have anyone upstaging him. He's already planning to pull favors, desperate to keep his spot at the top. But Ash isn't sweating it, he's planning for the long game. He's grinding, 100 km weight runs, clearing debts, prepping for the graduation exam to snag that $1 million scholarship. He's got a deal with Theo that he has to honor. And then the system activates. Gluttony system, let's go, he's testing his classes. King Doomhowl is C rank. And his strongest, the Infernal Rakshasa, it's S rank, but the potential is literally immeasurable. It's off the charts. He's got power he can't even fully tap into yet. And finally, the big reveal, the Chronorift key, SSS-Rank, the one and only key to the Dreadspire. He's heading in, everything is about to change. What's waiting for him inside, we're about to find out. Stay tuned because things are about to get absolutely insane. Bro, look at this. This is the Fallen Star Wastes. It's not just some random map, it's basically hell on Earth. And our guy, he's stuck right in the middle of it. The vibe here is honestly suffocating. You can feel the tension just looking at the scenery. You hear that? That's not just fatigue. The gravity here is absolutely insane. It's roughly 10G for anyone not prepared. That's enough to crush your organs. He realizes immediately that the entrance is gone. He's trapped. To get out, he has to kill the floor boss, but right now, he's operating at like 30% capacity. This is high-stakes survival, dude. He's not just sitting there dying though, he's doing what he does best, adapting. He pulls up the menu to switch classes. He starts as a Phantomane B-rank Stellar Warrior, but it's not enough. He's gasping for air, sweating bullets, and pushing his mental state to the limit to load the next build. He switches to Lightning Assassin. Lightning speed, precision, that should work right? Wrong. He tries to strike but the system flashes red, failed to strike vital point. He misses. The gravity is completely screwing with his speed and more importantly his timing. He's realizing the hard way that his old school tactics don't work in this specific nightmare. Then a massive beast pounces. Boom, the impact is insane, but look, this beast isn't even fazed by the gravity. He realizes he needs raw power, not speed, so he makes a high-stakes call. He switches to Infernal Rakshasa. This isn't just a stat boost, it's a total shift in playstyle. The change is sick. He's surrounded by this dark, crackling energy. He's got two main abilities now, Ossuary Collapse, which drains energy from nearby corpses, pretty metal, right? And Triple Cataclysm, which lets him control gravity. He's essentially using the dungeon's own weapon against it. He cranks the gravity to 200%, then 400%, and finally 600%. He is literally betting everything on one swing. He screams, "This punch will hit with 60 times normal force." It's pure adrenaline. He's putting his entire being into this because in a world like this, hesitation equals death. Wham! The impact connects. The scene is absolute chaos, and just like that, the monster is down. He gets the kill, he gets the loot, Phantomane bone, and he levels up. But hold on, the adrenaline hasn't even faded yet and he gets hit with a terrifying realization. He's lying there, totally spent, thinking he just conquered a boss. But the door to the next floor doesn't open. Then it hits him, the beast he just poured every ounce of his strength into killing, it was just a trash mob. The actual overlord hasn't even shown up yet. This is where the real horror sets in. He's just scratched the surface of this hell and the road ahead is going to be brutal. But then, everything shifts. We jump to May 20, 2157 at the National Awakening University. Total tonal whiplash, right? We go from life-or-death survival to the graduation combat examination. The tension here isn't physical, it's social. The Guild Alliance is watching, the rules changed, and every squad needs a minimum of 5 people with at least one high-tier E rank. And then there's Ash C, who we know is the guy we just saw in the dungeon, but check the board, his rank is E rank basic. Everyone is whispering. How did he drop from C rank to E rank? The judgment is harsh. People are calling him deadweight and mocking him for turning down team offers. They have no idea what he's actually capable of because they're obsessed with the system rankings. His own uncle is there, disappointed, thinking Ash doesn't know how to manipulate the system or people. They think his rival is going to stomp him. Little do they know that trash mob in the dungeon was just his warm-up. The massive arena is absolutely buzzing with panic, and over the loudspeakers, a booming voice shouts, "Everyone, hurry up and find your teams!" Footsteps are pounding against the floor because the deadline is literally ticking down. People are losing their minds trying to secure a spot. Desperate students are sprinting left and right, completely screaming out, "Cole, Cole, please let me join your squad." Everyone wants a piece of the top-tier elites. Look at this crowd, dude, they are literally begging on their knees. Pick me, pick me. Cole, I've been a member of the council for 3 years straight. I swear I won't hold you back. It's a total survival zone out here and nobody wants to get left behind. Another student pushes through the crowd, crying out, "Cole, my healer class would be perfect for the team. Cole, I'll do anything, just let me join." Honestly, the second-hand embarrassment is hikey real right now. But the guys surrounding Cole just hold out a hand, shutting everyone down. "Pipe down, back off all of you, we've only got room for one more person." Talk about exclusive, bro. Half an hour passes by, and the finality of the situation starts setting in. BZZZT, a massive green digital prompt flashes in the air, team formation complete. 5 students lock fists, their electronic wristbands glowing bright green to seal the deal. But away from the cheering crowds, there's just dead silence. While the mainstream groups are high-fiving and yelling, "Good luck on the exam, everyone, we've got this," there is one group standing completely frozen in the back corner. This poor guy with the glasses lets out a massive sigh. "I asked literally everyone, nobody wants us." Talk about a total gut punch. He clutches his head in pure despair. "Only 4 of us, don't tell me we won't even qualify for the graduation exam." Then he looks over at the protagonist of our story, Ash, and grits his teeth. Something's fishy here, there's no way Ash is actually bottom tier. Hold up, let's look at the actual game mechanics here. To even register for the graduation combat exam, you need a minimum of 5 people and at least one of them has to be an E rank high tier or higher. The glasses guy realizes the truth, they're obviously targeting our dorm on purpose. See, this exam is everyone's one shot at making it big. Only the top team scores get you the insane job offers from the massive guilds. But here is the catch, during the final exam, monster spawns in the dungeon scale completely with your squad size. Which means more people doesn't automatically mean better scores, so even if you can't get into elite squads like Cole's, nobody wants dead weight dragging them down either. And guess who the 3 lowest ranked E's in the entire school are? Yep, all living in the exact same dorm, Marlon Ma, Riley Xiong, and Ash C, all stuck at E rank basic tier. At this rate, they are completely cooked. Suddenly, a voice calls out from across the hall, "Hey, Weston." Weston turns around, completely startled. Another squad shouts over to him, "We need one more, join us. You don't want to team up with those 3 basic E losers from your dorm, right? Otherwise, you might not even make it to graduation." Bro, the disrespect is wild. Ash's eyes narrow, glowing a sharp, dangerous crimson. The reality is brutal. If Weston leaves, the 3 basic E's are pretty much guaranteed to get ditched by everyone and lose their shot at the graduation exam completely. Weston drops his gaze, his jaw tightening as he speaks into his wristband. "Sorry. Our dorm already made a pact to team up together. I'm not abandoning my brothers." Whoa, okay, respect points skyrocketed for Weston. Bro chose loyalty over an easy pass. The recruiters instantly turn toxic. "Whatever, man, you were just filler anyway, turning us down, what an idiot. Stop looking down on us." Yeah, keep coping, losers. Digital boards all around the room keep chiming ding 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 as D-rank squads lock in their status. The glasses guy panics hard. Almost everyone's done forming teams, there's barely any high E ranks left, we're one person short but nobody will take us. Ash stares across the room at the career coordinator, a C-rank mid-tier named Logan. Ash's mind is racing. Logan Gong, same last name as Cole, he's part of the Gong clan, changing critical exam rules on a whim and deliberately faking my rank to stop people from teaming with me. Do they see me as a threat to Cole? Ash clenches his fist. People with power really do whatever they want, but I'm taking this graduation exam no matter what. A digital screen pops up in front of him, loading, switching class. Wait, what is he doing? Ash smirks. Since you're going to play dirty, then I won't hold back either. The test is not the only way to prove my worth. His roommate gasps out loud, sweating bullets. Dude, what are you planning? Ash explains the hidden lore of the school. Awaken schools have always had one special, absolute tradition to help students master their classes and combat skills. Students can challenge anyone to a 1v1 duel, anytime, anywhere. It's risky as hell, but it's the fastest way to show everyone what you're really made of. Most people would chicken out from a random challenge, but Cole definitely won't. If Ash can just beat him in front of everyone, all those people gunning for high scores will come begging to join his team. Bro is playing 4D chess right now. But right as Ash is about to make his move, a sweet voice interrupts him. Ash, your squad still got room. I'd love to join this year's graduation exam. Everyone turns around and their jaws literally drop to the floor. I hit D rank back in middle school, so I shouldn't drag you down, right? Heh. No way, no way, the entire room erupts into pure shock. Holy SHT, when did Ash pull Arya? DMN, Arya WH, what is she saying? Tap tap tap, Arya Ling, the vice president herself, walks right up to Ash's trash squad. The crowd goes wild with whispers. Isn't she an exchange student? She wants to take our graduation exam, her background's always been shady. I heard she's some prodigy from Sanhaven. Why's this girl helping outsiders now? Suddenly, Logan Gong steps in, completely sweating. Arya, as an exchange student, you don't technically qualify for our graduation exam, and you've never done a rank assessment since transferring. I've never seen any documentation of your current rank. Your participation is completely against regulations. That's absolutely right, Mr. Gong, a booming voice echoes through the hall. Logan freezes up, turning pale. President Yuan, when did you get here? The students are just as confused. Why's the president here too? The president walks forward, completely giving off powerhouse energy. Arya, you're only here for a short exchange. Why get mixed up in all this? Ash watches closely, nodding that the president's class is a warrior. So how did he just teleport into the room without anyone noticing? This guy is Heike, a monster. The president continues, Arya, if you participate, it breaks the fairness of everything. The graduation exam only matters when people show their real strength, doesn't it? Arya just pouts, sighing, Awa, what a bummer. Ash tries to read their power levels, but his system completely fails. I can't read either of their ranks. Then, the president turns his gaze to Logan Gong. You're absolutely right, our school has such a stellar reputation because we've always followed the rules. National Awakena University's mission is cultivating top-tier Awakenas and giving them the best stage to prove themselves, ensuring a steady pipeline of Awakena talent to the world. The graduation combat exam is a decades-old tradition, one of the most critical turning points in a student's life. If students lose this chance due to special circumstances, how could our school live with itself? Logan is internally sweating buckets, completely terrified. That old geezer, is he calling me out? Did he catch on that I rigged things? He never gets involved with small fry like this. Logan looks at the president and Arya standing together and realizes he's completely outmatched. The president and Arya working together on this whole show. Is it all for that boy? Whatever, no point picking a fight with the old man. Cole, this is all your uncle can do for you. All the top-ranked students have finished forming teams. Only Ash is stuck dragging 3 losers into the exam. You should breeze through this one. Logan completely forces a fake laugh, clapping his hands. Oh my goodness, President, you're absolutely right. Our office was short-sighted. We didn't consider that the current rules might exclude people. He raises his hand to announce a massive rule change. I hereby announce teams with fewer than 5 members or without a high E rank can also register. The doors to the graduation combat exam are open to everyone. The boys from Ash's dorm instantly erupt into tears of joy. Yes, we can take the exam, ha ha ha, Ash, you gotta be our captain. The president watches from above, a knowing smirk on his face. Arya, your interest in Ash goes way deeper than I thought. On one side, Cole leading the strongest squad in university history. On the other, Ash with the 3 lowest-ranked roommates in school. I can't help wondering what dungeon will they pick and what kind of score will they pull off. Logan clears his throat over the microphone. Now that teams are formed, captains can select their dungeon. Instantly, a digital notification chime rings out. Ding dong, submitted. The entire crowd gasps. Someone already picked their dungeon, that was fast. It's Ash. The entire room starts loudly chattering. Ash's team already chose a dungeon, holy CR*P they picked. The screen updates showing the dungeon Ash locked in. His roommates' eyes look like they're about to pop out of their skulls. Marlon screams at the top of his lungs, Ash, have you completely lost your mind? Withdraw it now, AAAH. Riley clutches his face in absolute terror, yelling, Rash, dude, do you have any idea what you just picked? But Ash just stands there completely calm, staring at the screen with a cold, unwavering look. Oh man, what kind of death trap dungeon did bro just lock them into? Alright, because this is where the real story kicks off. We are talking about the graduation combat exam, the literal make or break moment for every student here. It's not just about passing, it's about getting an offer from the Imperial Guild, and to do that, you need massive points. The math is brutal, guys. You get points for clearing mobs, 20 points for the Overlord boss, and 20 points for speed, finish under an hour, or start bleeding points. And the difficulty, that's where the multipliers hit. F rank is a safe bet, capped at 75 points. E rank, that's the standard, hitting a 100-point ceiling. But then, there's D rank. And that is exactly what our protagonist, Ash, just picked. Hold up, did he just glitch the system? Everyone in the room is looking at the screen like they've seen a ghost. A D-rank dungeon for a graduating class? No way, that is absolute insanity. Look at his teammates, they are panicking. One of them is literally on the floor calling him a psycho, and honestly, they're right. Statistically, no graduating class has ever cleared a D-rank dungeon. It's a suicide mission. But Ash, he's just standing there, cold, collected, like he's already mapped out the entire victory in his head. Wait, it gets better. Cole's squad, the heavy hitters, the guys everyone thought would break the school record, they just picked D-rank too. The rivalry, it just went public. The tension in that room is thick enough to cut with a knife. Everyone thinks Ash is just a lunatic with a death wish, but you can see the fire in his eyes. He's not playing for safety, he's playing for the MVP title. We've come this far, might as well see what a D-rank dungeon is really like, he says. Bro is literally gambling his entire future on this one run. He promises his team the win, and despite the terror, they lock in. The squad is officially committed to the most dangerous exam in school history. Now, fast forward to 17 days before the exam. While every other team is in the luxury operations chambers, using high-end tech for elemental simulations and training against fake monsters, Ash, he's got his team doing dodgeball, sprints, and suicide drills until they puke. At first glance, it looks like a joke, right? Our exam isn't the Olympics, man, but Ash drops the real truth bomb. Those simulations are fake. When you're inside a dungeon and real chaos and terror come crashing down on you, your textbook knowledge isn't going to save you. Your combos won't save you. The only thing that pulls you out alive is your raw, instinctual reaction time. He's hacking the system. The rich kids, they've had the best training since birth, a massive head start that regular people can never bridge. But Ash is leveling the playing field. He's training their bodies to be weapons so that when the real fight happens, they aren't just relying on game stats, they're relying on instinct. It's a gamble, it's painful, and it's arguably reckless, but if it works, he's going to shatter that class ceiling and drag his team to the top with him. The exam starts in less than 3 weeks. They've got nothing, they're chasing a D-rank nightmare, and they're betting everything on Ash's unconventional methods. Are they about to become legends, or is this the fastest game over in school history? You do not want to miss this. You've got exactly 15 days left before the most brutal exam of your life, and where do you decide to train? Inside the freaking Dreamspire at the Fallen Star Wastes. Our main man Ash is out here literally dodging interstellar purple panthers left and right under a cosmic sky. Bro is trying to unlock his full potential as a lightning assassin, but let's be real, these monsters are absolutely not playing around. And right on cue, smack, one of those massive cosmic beasts catches him dead on, no hesitation, just straight impact. You can see the lightning crackling around him, but the sheer force of this hit is hikey terrifying. His teeth are grit, blood is flying, and the stakes? Yeah, they just skyrocketed. This is what training on the edge of death looks like. Bam, another brutal hit sends him flying. But hold up, the clock is ticking down, we are officially at 10 days to go, and Ash is back in the real world, pushing his physical body to the absolute limit. 5 more laps, move it, the instructor is screaming. Students are collapsing on the track, but Ash is out here running with a massive weighted backpack like it's a light jog. Bro is on a mission. 5 days to go, look at this absolute madman doing push-ups with a literal stack of iron blocks and a massive kettlebell piled high on his back. Huff, huff, 101-102. He is literally sweating buckets onto the grass while his classmates are standing in the back completely losing their minds. They're holding weights and looking at him like, what is this guy even made of? 3 days to go and things get incredibly serious. Look at this frame, dude. The silver hair, the glowing amber eyes, the absolute aura radiating off him as fire rages in the background. He looks completely detached from humanity right now. The pressure is building and you can hikey feel the sheer intensity radiating through the screen. 2 days left, his hand slowly reaches down, gripping the hilt of his blade amidst the embers. And then boom, the system screen pops up, level up. Ash C has officially hit level 16 as a lightning assassin. All that hellish training, it finally paid off. 1 day to go, and the real battle begins now. It is officially June 17, 2157, graduation combat exam day. The standby sequence initiates and a cute little hover drone with glowing green eyes pops up out of nowhere. Hey there, examinees, I'm your drone companion for today's exam. Honestly, don't let the cute face fool you, this exam is a literal death trap. The tension in the locker room is palpable as everyone starts strapping on their tactical gloves and adjusting their high-tech wristbands. The drone barks out a final warning: make sure your wristbands and gear are equipped properly, because if you screw up your gear out there, you're basically monster food. And just like that, the announcement echoes through the facility. The graduation exam officially starts now. Cut to the National Awakening University admin building, and look who just pulled up in a luxury sedan. It's Soren Gong, the legendary co-founder of the Imperial Guild and Cole Gong's dad. The university president is out there personally shaking his hand like an absolute fanboy. Up at the windows, the students are completely losing it. Wait, that's one of the Imperial Guild's founders. He's gorgeous. But wait a second, who the hell is in the car behind him? Someone so insanely important that both the Imperial Guild founder and the university president step aside to greet him. Bro, it's Carl Cavendish, the vice chairman of the Global Guild Alliance. The students are literally gasping for air. The Guild Alliance basically runs the entire world right now. If one of these VIPs takes notice of you today, your entire life is instantly fast-tracked to stardom. Inside the monitoring room, Sigrid, the Secretary General of the Guild Alliance, looks over the stats. We've got 184 students divided into 28 squads. 23 squads played it safe with F-rank dungeons. 3 squads chose E-rank. But then she notices something crazy. 2 squads actually went with D-rank dungeons. She immediately looks at the president like, are you insane? D-rank dungeons are dangerous even for professional pro-guild teams. Did you actually warn these kids? The president explains the brutal reality. In an F-rank dungeon like Thornfang, normal students can barely handle regular mobs, and an overlord monster requires throwing absolutely everything they've got. But E-rank dungeons? It's a completely different ballgame. Every single trash mob in an E-rank dungeon hits exactly as hard as an F-rank overlord. We see a squad inside an E-rank dungeon getting absolutely demolished by an ironback spider, crying out, "How the hell is E-rank this brutal?" Clear rates for normal students are basically 0. But the president reassures her that safety protocols are completely locked down. They have Imperial Guild armed units stationed right outside every single portal, ready to breach if things go south. Plus, the exam wristbands have a built-in emergency teleport. The second a student screams, "I quit," they get yanked straight out of the dungeon. And right on cue, we see a terrified student getting warped out, labeled completely as forfeited. But forget F-rank and E-rank. Let's check in on the absolute madman who entered the D-rank dungeon, Cloudforest Crest. The danger level here is literally labeled extreme. Immediately the air fills with horrific screeching. Squeak, squeak. Out of the mist emerge the Ghostwing apes, vicious cloud monsters that specialize in swarm tactics and insane aerial burst speeds. Ash's teammate is completely frozen in fear, screaming, "What the hell are those things?" Squeak, the apes dive bomb from the sky like heat-seeking missiles. Ash's teammate barely ducks, hyperventilating as she realizes she just dodged a lethal D-rank strike. She looks over completely expecting the worst, But wait, hold up, look at Ash. In the span of a single literal second, our boy Ash draws his blade, channels his level 16 lightning speed, and completely cleaves 3 D-rank monsters in half before they can even touch the ground. His teammates are just standing there, jaws dropped, realizing that Ash isn't trapped in this dungeon with monsters. The monsters are trapped in here with him. You're stuck in a brutal dungeon exam, snow is falling everywhere, and your classmate looks back at you with glowing yellow eyes like a literal god. This is Ash, and he straight up tells the squad, "You guys aren't ready to handle these things yet, just stay alive, that's all you need to do." Talk about a hikey flex, bro. Before anyone can even argue, Ash drops the coldest line ever, "Leave everything else to me," and unleashes a massive, blinding bolt of lightning that absolutely tears through the snowy sky. But hold up, these monsters aren't just sitting around. A massive creature sweeps past, forcing one of the students to duck for cover as a massive wind pressure goes swish right over his head. The terrain is absolutely unforgiving. Another teammate loses his footing, sliding wildly across the slick ice, shouting, "Wah!" as he completely loses control. Bam, he hits the ground hard. The sheer panic in their eyes says it all, these guys are way out of their depth. But as he's lying there in the snow, a sudden realization hits him like a truck. All that brutal reflex and burst speed training Ash forced them to do, it wasn't to make them fighters. Ash never planned on them being useful in combat. Honestly, this changes everything. He just wanted to make sure they had enough speed and survival instincts to literally stay alive while he does all the heavy lifting. The reality of the situation settles in over the freezing battlefield. They are completely dependent on one guy. The dorm leader is low-key having a massive existential crisis right here. He's thinking, **T, I've always been the dorm leader, and now I need this kid to carry me through graduation. Talk about a massive blow to the ego, dude. Meanwhile, Ash is absolutely putting on a clinic. POW, he moves like lightning, instantly decapitating one of the beasts with a single electrified strike. No hesitation, just pure lethal efficiency. The battlefield goes dead silent for a fraction of a second as the dust clears. But wait a second, the nightmare isn't over. A whole swarm of terrifying flying apes, the ghostwing apes, burst out of the snowstorm, screeching grrrrrrrrrrr with their razor-sharp fangs bared. Thud, thud, Ash doesn't even blink. He flashes through the air, carving the monsters to pieces before they can even process his movements. Bro is moving so fast that the camera can barely keep up. Yellow lightning streaks across the screen as more bodies hit the snow. Watching from the sidelines, the dorm leader is completely stunned. He remembers someone telling him Ash was strong, but he thought they were totally full of it. Seeing this firsthand, it's absolutely insane. The sheer speed and pressure radiating from Ash's movements leave absolutely no room for doubt. Wrap another calculated swing, another monster down. His focus is terrifyingly sharp. The team realizes this guy is way too powerful to be just another student trying to graduate. The way he positions himself, the way he conserves energy, he doesn't fight like a rookie. He fights like a literal seasoned warrior. Thud, thud, the sky is literally raining monsters as Ash single-handedly thins out the horde. More shadows plummet from the sky. It is a complete and utter slaughterhouse, and Ash is the executioner. Another teammate is just staring with his jaw on the floor. Like, how did this dude get so **MN reliable all of a sudden? It makes absolutely no sense to them. The gap between them and Ash feels wider than the dungeon itself. He looks down, gripping his fists, thinking, I really got left behind. The imposter syndrome is hitting Heike heavy right now. But out of nowhere, a massive rogue ghostwing ape dives straight from the blind spot, aiming right for the vulnerable backline. Heads up, another one coming from behind. Someone screams, this is it. Ash can't reach them in time, they have to act or they die. Swish, the monster cuts through the air at terrifying speeds, closing the distance instantly. But something changes inside them. They refuse to just sit here like useless baggage and let Ash do everything. This is their graduation exam too, with a resounding hell yeah. The flower chanter steps up, casting Vine Bind, SMAP, glowing green vines whip out to ensnare the beast. Smack, the vines connect, but the monster screams SQEAK. and breaks free almost instantly. No way, this thing is too strong, but the Cloud Chanter immediately backs her up with Icy Whisper, slowing it down just enough for a flawless combo. They trap it again, shouting, "Weston, hit it now." Weston, the squad's nuclear mage, steps up and fires a massive blaze bomb. Bam! The beast roars in agony, but it's a total tank and keeps pushing through the explosions. The team is losing their grip, crying out that they can't hold on much longer. Weston grits his teeth. "FK it, I'm going all out." Gathering every single drop of mana left in his body, Weston unleashes his ultimate spell. Nuclear Mage, Hyper Blaze Bomb, boom! A catastrophic blinding explosion completely consumes the entire area, shaking the dungeon to its very foundations. As the smoke clears, a beautiful system message pops up. "Congrats, Ghostwing Ape eliminated. They actually did it, dude. They took down a D-rank monster all on their own." Weston falls to his knees panting, trying to look cool in front of Ash, wheezing, "Total piece of cake." Ash just gives a rare, calm smile. "Yeah, good job." And right after, the system announces the entire dungeon has been completely cleared. Meanwhile, up in the monitoring room, the proctors are losing their minds. That's impossible. These trash-tier students with zero combat experience just killed D-rank monsters way above their grade, but the head examiner just looks on with a highly intrigued smile. "That young man's quite the performer." He smirks, staring intensely at Ash's data on the screen, whispering, "Although, he reminds me a lot of someone I used to know." Oh man, who is this guy talking about, and what kind of insane target did Ash just put on his back? You think you're pulling all the strings from the safety of a dark monitor room, but you have absolutely no idea what you're stepping into. We see this smug guy with purple hair leaning back, looking completely unbothered. He just heard the name Ash and smiles like it's some little game to keep in mind. Honestly, the level of arrogance here is off the charts. But wait a second, look at the guy standing right next to him, wearing glasses, dead serious expression, completely silent. The sheer tension radiating off this man is wild. He knows something this arrogant purple-haired dude doesn't. You can literally feel the mood dropping to sub-zero temperatures just from his glare. Suddenly, the room's tense silence is shattered. This frantic, middle-aged evaluator with blue hair and round glasses jumps up, waving his arms around like his hair is on fire. He's yelling for everyone to look at the monitors because something completely insane is happening out in the field. He brings up the live feed of the graduation exam, and bro, the other squad that went into the D-rank dungeon is absolutely tearing it up. They are already halfway through the entire zone, pulling off moves that look less like a student exam and more like a high-level military raid. The crowd is completely stunned. Even the strict lady supervisor adjusting her glasses has to admit it, their coordination is low-key flawless. They are moving as a perfect unit, covering every single angle without a single wasted motion. The purple-haired guy just smirks, watching the screens play out. To him, this year's batch of recruits is turning out to be pretty good, moving exactly like a seasoned pro guild team, but then he says something that should honestly give everyone goosebumps. "The fight's barely started, the real fireworks haven't even begun." And he isn't lying, dude. We cut straight into the Vilvan Den, a D-rank dungeon marked with an extreme danger warning. Suddenly, these terrifying mutated Toxamush monsters come charging out with massive, razor-sharp teeth gaping wide. These aren't your typical cute RPG mushrooms. These things are straight out of a nightmare, and their stats are actively debuffing the student's speed and stamina. But the Vanguard student doesn't even flinch. He screams for his team to converge, slinging massive purple magical energy right from his fists. The Stellar Mage unleashes a celestial merge, clapping his hands together to lock down the horde. Smack, smack! The magic hits with incredible impact, completely overwhelming the D-rank monsters in an explosion of light and force. They thought they could ambush this squad, but they completely underestimated who they were dealing with. Before the dust can even settle, a figure blurs through the air with a blinding swoosh. A sword cuts through the darkness, catching the light perfectly as it prepares to deliver a finishing blow. Boom! A massive, fiery explosion erupts across the screen. It's an absolute bloodbath for the monsters. The sheer destructive force clears the path instantly, leaving nothing but smoke and rubble behind. Meet Cole Gong, a C-rank nuclear warrior. Bro is standing there with his swords drawn, looking like an absolute boss. The back of his head is toward us, but you can just tell he didn't even break a sweat. Cole looks around and literally laughs out loud. He realizes the exam monsters are identical to the ones his family trained against. He boasts that it's way too easy because the powerful Gong family rigged the entire graduation exam from the start. Talk about ultimate privilege, dude. He shouts for his squad to move out because it's boss time. Meanwhile, we transition to a completely different side of the mountain. Whoosh, whoosh, the wind is howling and thick snow is blinding everyone. This is the Cloud Forest Crest Summit, another extreme danger D-rank dungeon. Unlike Cole's rigged squad, these guys are struggling hard against the freezing elements. The leader shields his eyes, looking up through the intense blizzard. They've actually managed to reach the very top of the mountain, but the atmosphere feels heavy, incredibly heavy. And right there, sitting amidst the snow, is the Chilgeist ape, a massive, towering D-rank cloud warrior beast covered in thick white fur with brutal scars running across its chest. And what is it doing? It's casually munching on the bloody remains of another monster like it's a midday snack. The squad hides behind a rock, completely terrified. The glasses kid is literally shaking, sweating bullets despite the freezing cold. One hit from a monstrosity like that would paste any of them 10 times over. They are completely outclassed. But then, oh shit, the giant ape stops chewing. Glowing, blood-red eyes lock straight onto their position. It noticed them. The psychological terror in this panel is unreal. Those eyes promise absolute destruction. The beast lets out a deafening RAAAAWR. The shockwave alone sends them scrambling for their lives as snow and debris fly everywhere. Wait, hold up, thud! The giant beast suddenly falls flat on its face. Just like that, the dust settles and the students are standing there completely bewildered, staring at the massive fallen ape. Like, really, that was it. The game system notification pops up, plus 200 EXP and 1 chilfer obtained. The leader narrows his eyes, realizing something is seriously wrong. Defeating a supposed D-rank overlord shouldn't give this little experience, and the loot is complete garbage. This makes 0 sense. But before he can think it through, one of his teammates screams in absolute greed. He found a massive horde of mid-grade mana crystals hidden inside a nearby hollow tree. He starts laughing maniacally, thinking they're about to be filthy rich for life. But the leader looks back, his instincts screaming at him. Hold on, if that giant ape was the dungeon boss, why would it be hiding from something? Why would it look so desperate? Suddenly, a massive frost bomb spell materializes out of nowhere. The ambient mana starts buzzing violently. BZZZZ, BZZZZ. Back in the monitor room, the screens suddenly go completely black. No signal. Ash's entire squad signal has been completely lost. The strict evaluator sighs, muttering that high-level monsters aren't stupid and that trash will always stay dead weight. He declares that it's game over for their exam. The other operators panic, pointing out that the students' lives are now in extreme danger and the guild team needs to intervene immediately to shut the exam down. But the lead supervisor stops them. She points out that their vitals are still stable and they haven't pressed the forfeit button yet. The choice to survive must be theirs. We cut back to the mountain where the glasses kid is shivering uncontrollably, coughing out a sneeze. He's only alive because his own cloud element ice resistance is barely keeping him from freezing to death. But as he looks up into the swirling mist, a massive shadow looms over them. GRRRR. The mist parts, revealing a colossal demonic ape form surging with ancient frost energy. The realization hits them like a truck. The monster they killed earlier wasn't the boss, it was just a frightened subordinate. The true, terrifying overlord of the entire Cloud Forest dungeon has finally awakened and they are completely trapped at the peak. What do you think is Hansu's play here to survive this absolute trap of a dungeon boss? You think you're just clearing a standard dungeon and suddenly the temperature drops to absolute 0. A terrifying growl echoes through the blizzard. Bro, look at the size of that thing. Out of nowhere, the ice cracks open and this colossal frozen nightmare begins to emerge. Our guy is completely dwarfed. Hold up, wait a second. Look at that design, the armor, the glowing blue core, the jagged crown. This isn't some low-level mob. This is a straight-up boss monster. And it hits him instantly. He recognizes this monster from the codex. This isn't just a boss, he's the actual overlord of the entire dungeon. Meet the Frostbone King. He's a C-rank cloud mage and honestly he is a total psycho. He Heike gets his kicks by slowly torturing his prey to death. This is bad, this is seriously bad. Every single stomp echoes through the cavern. The psychological pressure alone is insane. Our guy realizes that the frost bomb from earlier wasn't a random hazard, it was a calculated trap by this absolute monster. Bro is internally panicking, and honestly, can you blame him? A rare C-rank overlord is not something you solo. There is literally no shot he can take him down alone. He tries to scramble back, desperate to find a way out or regroup, but the Frostbone King isn't giving him an inch. The stomping just keeps getting closer and closer. He turns to run, thinking I need to hurry, and PFFT, out of nowhere an ice spike shreds right through his leg. ARGH, the sheer impact blasts him off his feet. He crashes hard against the icy floor, completely defenseless. And there it is, the face of death itself. The Frostbone King looks down at him, those glowing blue eyes staring straight into his soul. It's mocking him. The system warning aggressively flashes in his face, penetrating injury detected in the left calf. The pain must be absolutely blinding. Then comes the ultimate ultimatum from the system: forfeit the exam. If he gives up now, he lives, but everything he worked for is gone. But he screams like hell. Bro refuses to quit. He uses his Cloud Chanter Transcendence Realm to apply purification energy. If he can just unfreeze his ally Ash, they still have a fighting chance. He pours every ounce of his remaining mana into the spell, desperately trying to break the ice holding his teammate. But the Frostbone King sees right through it. Another brutal ice spike tears into him. The strike completely disrupts his focus. He's thrown back into the snow, and the system delivers a devastating blow. Purification failed. No way, is this really how it ends? The Frostbone King literally starts laughing at him. Gyahha, it's pure psychological torture. The boss knows it has completely won. To finish him off, the Overlord raises his arms, summoning an army of floating ice shards. It's the Cloud Mage spell, Frostspike. This is a literal death sentence. Danger, danger, critical heart rate. The system notifications are losing their minds as another spike pierces his right arm. He's bleeding out, trapped in a blizzard with zero options left. He's on his knees staring at the snow. The system asks him again, quit now, and honestly, a dark memory starts creeping into his mind. He remembers his past life. Every single time things got hard or scary, he was always the one left behind. Invisible, laughed at, pushed around, treated like absolute trash. But not today. They busted their absolute asses to get here. This is their one shot to change their entire destiny. With a surge of pure adrenaline, he screams, I will not throw it all away. He forces his broken body to move, channeling every bit of energy into one final, desperate transcendence spell, shattering the limits of his own class. The battlefield explodes in a blinding flash of light. And look who's standing. Ash actually broke out of the ice on his own. Our guy lets out a weak chuckle. Heh, figures, you broke out on your own anyway. Ash looks down at him, genuinely impressed. No, you came through big time. He asks if those wounds are fatal, and our guy casually brushes it off, saying he stopped the bleeding. But then he warns Ash, that thing's a C-rank Cloud Overlord Frostbone King, crazy dangerous. But the boss is done playing games. The ground begins to rumble violently. The Frostbone King charges up his ultimate spell, Frostblast Bomb. And dude, look at the size of that attack. It's literally a massive tactical nuke made of pure ice. Our guy is losing his mind. What the FK, how the hell do you dodge that? The boss lets out a manic gyahha as it drops the ultimate nuke right on top of them. Boom, the entire area is completely consumed by a catastrophic explosion of ice and frost. There's absolutely no way anyone survives that head-on. But wait, hold up, look through the smoke. Lightning starts crackling through the frost. What is happening? Ash is completely unharmed. A system window pops up revealing his true passive, Frostbound physique. Bro is literally immune to the cold, and his resistances actually increase in freezing environments. The boss Heike just buffed him. Our guy is absolutely losing it. Ash, what is this power? You're supposed to be a lightning assassin class? Wait, are you seriously a rare dual-class user? Ash looks back completely calm, surrounded by a terrifying aura. My bad, I screwed up the assessment and almost got you three killed. And then a system loading screen pops up, switching class. Class switch complete. Ash's entire demeanor changes as his legendary secondary class is revealed, Infernal Rakshasa. With eyes glowing like a demon, he looks straight at the giant boss and says, "I'm ending this now." Oh my god, this changes everything. The real fight starts next time. Ash C is looking straight at his squad, totally owning up to a massive mistake. He admits he completely screwed up the initial dungeon assessment and almost got his entire team wiped out. But instead of panicking, Bro stays cold as ice and promises it won't happen again. He closes his eyes, locks in, and a screen pops up, switching class. And right then and there, the system finishes loading. Class switch complete. Say hello to Ash's true trump card, the Infernal Rakshasa. He summons a massive, glowing pink energy blade that looks clean out of a nightmare, glaring down at the enemy and telling them straight up, "I'm ending this now." No hesitation, no backing down. He swings that massive, reality-tearing sword downward, completely lighting up the dark abyss of the dungeon with raw, unadulterated power. FWOOSH, the sheer wind pressure from the swing blows backward, and look at the kid with the glasses in the background. His eyes are literally popping out of his skull, sweating bullets because the sheer energy coming off Ash right now is absolutely insane. Okay, so let's pause for some quick world building so you guys understand how wild this actually is. Usually, when someone awakens in this world, they get exactly one class. You get your element, your basic kit, and that's your entire life. But in super rare cases, we are talking a literal 1 in 10 million miracle. Someone might awaken with two classes. They're called dual-class users. There are less than 10 of them in the entire world, and every major guild on the planet will straight up lose their minds and throw billions of dollars at them just to recruit them. But Ash, our guy, is not a dual-class user. Glasses Kid looks at the system UI and realizes the truth. 1, 2, 3 classes. And it's not just that he has 3, every single one of them has their strength and stamina stats absolutely maxed out. This is completely illegal, dude. Ash just gives this casual, dangerous smirk. He's low-key been hiding this level of god-tier power, and now that the training wheels are off, he is ready to absolutely break the scale. POW, a massive beam of concentrated purple and blue energy erupts from his strike, shooting straight into the ceiling of the dungeon and creating a colossal shockwave that completely shatters the environment. The blast wave tears through the icy plains, totally melting the frozen terrain. The force is so violent that it looks like a tactical nuke just went off inside the cavern. A blinding, white-hot flash consumes the entire screen. The sheer scale of this attack is just too much to comprehend. Glasses Kid is thrown to the ground, trying his best not to get blown away by the shockwave. He can't even process the crushing pressure radiating from the area. He realizes that the terrifying aura isn't coming from the monster, it's coming from Ash's blade. We see the dungeon boss, the massive, terrifying King Frostbone, screaming in absolute agony as Ash unleashes his ultimate form, Stellar Warrior Triple Cataclysm, Crushing Mode. Slash, with one clean vertical line, the giant skeleton monster is completely sliced right down the middle, exploding into millions of magical particles against a crimson sky. Ash executes a flawless, gravity-defying ninja landing, his eyes glowing a sinister cyan blue through the smoke. Absolute main character energy right here. The energy shockwave completely dissipates, leaving a massive trench in the ground. The boss didn't just die, Ash literally wiped it clean off the map. Thud, the remaining massive frozen chunks of the boss finally slam into the ground, signaling the absolute end of the fight. And of course, the system notifications start raining down. Massive EXP plus 5,000 points, Ash instantly levels up to level 17, locking in a flawless victory. Glasses Kid is still sitting in the dirt, completely dumbfounded. He looks at Ash like he's staring at a literal alien and goes, "Dude, what the hell? You just one-shot a C-rank boss." Ash calmly powers down and reminds him that they aren't out of the woods yet. Their other two teammates, Weston and Riley, are still frozen solid in blocks of ice. Glass's kid completely panics, yelling, CRP, I totally forgot about them, hold on guys. But while his friend is distracted, Ash glances down at the defeated boss's remains. A dark glitchy prompt appears over his eyes, can be devoured. Devouring loading? Oh man, it turns out our boy has a devouring system too. Devour complete, Ash successfully absorbs King Frostbone's core and unlocks a brand new subclass, Cloud Mage. He gains the skills Frost Spike, which shoots razor-sharp tracking ice blades, and Frost Bomb, an AoE freeze attack that can be upgraded into a massive 100-meter detonation zone. He's literally collecting classes like Pokémon cards at this point. Ash realizes this is his very first time devouring a class outside of a dream state. He looks up and notices the dungeon's camera drone was frozen solid before he unleashed his true powers, meaning the authorities didn't catch a single thing on film. His secret is perfectly safe, and they're still on track for a perfect score. Suddenly, another screen pops up. His Lightning Assassin class proficiency just hit 100%, rewarding him with a rare golden stat star. Even Ash is surprised by how fast he's breaking the game's limits. Meanwhile, the story cuts away to a completely different part of the dungeon network, the Vilevane Den. This is an extreme danger D-rank dungeon, and inside we see Cole Gong's squad getting absolutely thrashed by a giant, terrifying plant monster known as Voriflora. The Vanguard fighters are screaming in terror, barely holding up their shields against the monster's massive vines. They're crying out, wondering if this is seriously the raw power of a D-rank boss. The monster's defense is so insane they can't even leave a single dent on its armor. Vines are snapping, explosions are rocking the cavern, and the squad is completely losing their grip. They realize nothing in their academy training prepared them for a fight this brutal. Desperate, they yell out for their leader Cole, asking if he's finally done charging up his attack. And right on cue, Cole's stats skyrocket to the absolute maximum. He steps forward with a massive, blazing broadsword engulfed in high-tier elemental fire energy and confidently declares, "That'll do." POW, bam, wham, Cole leaps into the air and unleashes his signature move, Nuclear Warrior Blazeblade Barrage. He completely slices the plant boss into minced meat with a flurry of fiery slashes. His squad immediately goes wild, cheering and shouting, "Hell yeah, Cole is an absolute monster, that's our president for you." A global announcement rings out through the dungeon. Cole Gong's squad has cleared the D-rank dungeon in a total time of 35 minutes. Cole and his boys are laughing hysterically, completely full of themselves. They're celebrating clearing a D-rank dungeon in just over half an hour, boasting that with the dungeon's 3x difficulty multiplier, their final score is going to be a whopping 150 points, a record-breaking perfect score. Cole smirks confidently, sheathing his sword, and says, "Let's go, time to check the rankings." Little does this guy know, while he was sweating bullets trying to clear a D-rank dungeon with a full squad, Ash C was casually soloing and one-shotting a C-rank boss somewhere else. Cole thinks he's the king of the leaderboard, but bro is about to receive the ultimate reality check.